for the gospel.
Welcome to another HCC podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I am Gadgelina, and this is
Manuel.
and we are the Thevnots. Last week, just to dive in, but last week we talked about what it was like for you as a youth going to the church and things that had happened that caused you to leave the church, right?
Yeah, we talk about almost all these things. I'm gonna say everybody, welcome aboard. We're gonna try to tell you exactly, little bit of my story. So I remember when I left the church, it was because of actually I left the church the first time and the second time. The second time it was because I think as a young man at the church, so I want to get baptized. So
Okay.
compare like because they saw all they go to the neighborhood, they go to people, ask them about you, so who you are, so how your life is. So because I just want to get baptized, so they even go to my families like my big brothers because at the time my mom wasn't already in America. So I have like another parents. It was my two of my big brothers, so it was older than me.
Right.
So they didn't come to them, so they just go straight to the people in the neighborhood. So and ask them about my life,
Right.
which is they don't know nothing about it. So and when that happened, so because of people, it's like what the people sees, so they saw, because we was like 11 brothers, all 11 men live in the house. But they
It's
see
a lot of
yeah,
men.
they see female coming out. So they just think, he's
Right.
Emmanuel, so they stopped me to get baptized. So I was mad,
Right.
so I left the church
Okay.
for that. After that, I think so many people come to me, talk to me about it. So I went again. After,
They convinced you to go back to
yeah,
church?
yeah, to church. When I get there, when I can say it's like I was not ready for it because 17 to about to be 18. So when you try to
That's a rough age.
yeah, to tell me what can I and cannot do. Especially it's like when I read the Bible, when I read everything, God says, if you believe in me, so you can get baptized. I always believe. I was doing everything I can do, but because of something, you even asked me, you didn't talk to me, but because I was a young man and everything like people say about me, you just believe in,
Right.
crush me because he didn't want me to get baptized. After a long talk, I think they stopped me to baptize twice. The third time they accept that I was 18 when I got baptized. So
Yeah.
this November gonna be 20 years.
Praise God.
Yes,
Praise
since I
God.
got baptized, but it was rough.
I think that was a test though. That was a test to see if you were ready to be baptized, because being baptized is something that's not easy. It's not something that you should take lightly, right? Because
No,
entering into the kingdom of God after being baptized, it's like it's like an opening a door of being attacked by the enemy.
the first time I think about it, I think it was in test. But as like I said, was young when I'm find out what it was, and the people they baptized because they think I was have a lot of girlfriends, stuff like that. But people they baptize
Are worse than you?
was
Are worse than you.
and
But
that
they
time.
don't know that they're worse than you.
But
Yeah.
that time I was single for sure. I was single.
Yeah.
I got eyes on only one girl I think that
Okay.
time. But we wasn't together. It was just like close one.
Right.
But some of the dude they was get baptized, they was forcing me,
Mm.
you know. But I can tell
See,
them,
right, you knew that, but that's why
yes,
we should not judge based on what we think we know, though, right?
yeah,
So that's why judging is not in the hand of man, judging is in the hand of God. So while they thought that you were doing something wrong, they were going off of that, but you don't know what's going on in other people's lives, and you've baptized those people, right? So that's why I think it should not possibly be in the hand of man to make those kind of decisions.
but one of the thing was like I become to understand it. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
the circles make you feel like people see you bad.
Yeah, depends on your circle.
So, and I understand that because my family, they just was my circles, it was my brothers. It's
Judge
not,
you off of
yeah,
that.
it's nothing I can do about it because we live together. So
Right,
I cannot change that
right.
because you cannot change your family, but that was my brothers. So for that, I have to teach myself and I have to work harder for the church or the members,
Yeah.
the jacks or the pastor
Mm-hmm.
to know that man you think was doing something wrong, but it wasn't that man.
Wow.
So I have to work harder,
Yeah.
harder as a youth
Yes.
to make sure, hey, I'm ready.
Right.
So I'm ready. I'm doing something,
Yeah.
whatever you ask me, I'm doing it. So I was like everywhere you ask me. Everywhere. I was the man. So that's why I was like, I remember the church, they become to say Tivnot. They be everywhere you go. The Tivnot is there. So you know the youth gonna come because they saw what like, after that lady talked to me, she passed away. She was she was so much a beautiful, nice lady. She come to me at my house after like maybe 3 months. She didn't see me at the church. She come to my house and have a sit down with me
Mm-hmm.
and talk to me about God and explain what I need to do and how I can change what people see about me. So that time, man, uh I was so grateful for her.
Of course.
You know, so I think when she
Of
passed away,
course.
man, she takes this is like a mother passed away.
Was she a deaconess?
No, she was one of those
One of the leaders in the
women.
church? Oh,
She was one of the women
okay.
of the church. Man, she was really in some, you know. So and when that happened, when I get back, so everything she told me to do, I'm doing it. As the youth, I become involving more. I become to do stuff at the church more. I become to do stuff and they see who I am. By the time, the by time to baptize again,
Mm-hmm.
so I was ready,
You was ready.
and they asked me to get back, and then
Mm-hmm.
I was about to.
Well, that could have been God's journey for you, right? Because now, after she spoke to you, you gotten to have a better understanding of what it means to follow God, how to prepare your surroundings, how to keep people around you who are not making you look bad, and things of that sort. How to make it, how to get baptized intentionally, right?
Yeah.
To be able to make the decisions that are hard by removing people who are around us, people who we love on top of that, right? Because we don't choose our families, right? There's nothing wrong with your family, but at the same time, there may be someone else who's struggling with something with their entourage, the people who are around them. Sometimes you need to remove yourself, right, from the people who are around you so God can use you, so God can work with you, so they're not a distraction for you, so God can continue to bring you to where he needs you to be so he can bless you.
As I think as a youth,
Mm-hmm.
you got so many challenging coming to you,
Yeah.
but sometimes if you don't have a leader or somebody to talk to, somebody
Yeah.
who see who you are, you know, say, okay, I see your talent, I see what you're doing, and
Right.
I love what you're doing, and
Right.
keep doing it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's gonna you know put you down because it's like, okay, I'm working and nobody sees.
No
It's
one
like
sees.
I know we're not supposed to focus on what people see or we're just working for that, but have somebody to encourage you for what you're doing is always good.
as a youth, you need the encouragement because that's you're still growing in your faith. I mean,
Yeah.
as older adults, we're still growing as well. But at the level that you're in right now, where you're just now finding God, you're just now seeking God, there's going to be places that you need someone to mentor you. You need a leader to help guide you, right?
Yeah.
And to let you know what you're doing is good. You're on the right path. Like Banco I just
Oh
shared,
yeah.
whatever. Like you need that as a youth, as a young person. Even adults need that at times, right? But
Mhm.
you're in a different level in your faith where you understand that you're not seeking man's approval, you're seeking God's approval. But as a youth, you learn that as you get older. You learn that when along the way.
Definitely. One thing I always talk to my youth
Hmm.
and always let them know. So whatever you're doing, you're not doing it for me, or you're not doing it for
Yeah.
pastor. You're just doing it for you. But sometimes we see the challenge for the youth because sometimes we don't see what they see.
Of course
We
not.
don't feel what they feel,
Yeah.
and we don't see the challenge.
Of
As the older we get, we forget we was there,
hmm
and we have the couple situation on our life who's put us down as a man or as a young people. So
hmm
we just forget about this situation, or we forget about how challenge it is. Me, I remember last time I have a conversation with my friend.
hmm
We was talking about her youth and this youth today.
mm,
They got more challenging than we had.
right.
Way, way more challenging. Because at that age, we when we was young, it was more like when we was at the church, it was more like female, thing.
Right.
We can stop us,
hmm
or we can go play music. That was like go to program parties. That was must or challenge.
Right.
So the devil was used these two, I think, to challenge the young men or young women.
hmm
But nowadays, I think they got more challenging compared to what we had.
Yeah. Which leads us to the topic of what we wanted to talk about. Back then you were in Haiti, but now you're in America. We have it's a lot easier for the youth back in Haiti to stay within their church. Either if they're going to be in a church, it's going to be a Haitian church no matter what, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be an American church. So what we see now is our youth leaving the Haitian church
Hmm.
and they're attending American churches.
Yep.
And of course, there are reasons behind that. Um, and it's up to us as leaders who've gone through the challenges and
Yep.
still are, still walking that journey and trying to understand how do we bring our youth back, right? How do we bring our youth back? Do you see more of that where our children are going to college, their minds are being opened up to a lot of different ways of worship,
Yeah.
other religions, things of
Hmm.
that sort, and they end up not coming back to the church that they grew up in, but going to an American church instead.
And one thing I see when I come to America, because I pass most of my youth in Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
But when I come to America, especially the church I was,
Mm-hmm.
the youth was involved. A lot of youth. They got like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of youth.
Yeah.
But the I don't think so. They got a gap. After, like, for example, when I first come to church as a youth, they got people who just get married. They were still at the youth
Mm-hmm.
to help us. It's like they was fixing the gap for us, because when they left, we was ready.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take an example. They got I'm gonna say some names. We got Brother Lickner. Now he's the church pastor right now. Where the church I was in Haiti, Palafra. We got Lubin. Uh, we got Medjin. We got Joanne. We got Alexi. Brother Alexi. thing. Yeah, there was all us. There was like the time was for them to leave, so they was there and prepare us who was coming for the next step.
Of course.
So that's was like they help us like and Sister Imagine the one she give me books to read. You know, when I come she helped me, you know, how to pray, stuff like that. So each of them was teaching somebody.
Yeah.
It's like the disciples they was doing for
course.
us.
Yes.
So there was make sure so when they left,
Yeah.
we they the church got somebody like the youth was in you know in good hands.
Right.
So I think when I come to America, I didn't see that part because, for example, if I come to the church, when my time come to leave, I just leave. I don't stay in the youth for maybe a year or 2 years to help the next generation. So I just was there. So that was my time, and I was so happy doing my thing, and I leave. So imagine like if we have like 10 to 20 youth or the same age, after 2 3 years, they feel they not youth no more. They leave the church. So what you see that gap, don't have nothing to fill it.
Yeah.
So to make all the youth, they don't like they want coming up. They don't know exactly what the youth was all about. For example, us, we camp. We was like every Sunday 3 o'clock. We was at the church. We play. That's where we learn everything we know. It's like from I can say maybe from the 80s to 2010 something like that. All the pastors, the leaders of Asian churches, you want to see them, there was all of them was president of the youth, leader of secretaries. When you was in the youth, they teach you, you learn so many good things to prepare you to stay as a member or to stay
Right.
at the church. But I think right now is that's what I saw. So most the youth who's left the church, they don't have guidance. So because the one who was before them didn't, I feel like they didn't prepare them.
Of course.
So you left them, so they don't see nothing. They don't have nothing else to do. So you didn't teach them what you had.
Yeah.
Like for example, every like I said before, every carnival or in Haiti. So my church take everybody of the youth
Took 'em somewhere
out,
else.
yeah, to focus on something else.
Right.
There's certain times like even you not when my neighborhood they even at the church, but when that time come, they know they have to go to camp because you're gonna learn. That's why we learn music, we learn songs, we learn you know Bible verse. It's like we had fun.
Right.
The youth like the Sunday when you go to church, some people you're gonna miss Sunday church, Sunday morning. But the youth, you're not gonna miss the youth.
Right.
At 3 o'clock, you're gonna be at the church because you know that's where you're gonna have fun. That's why everybody coming. I think this
Is what's lacking.
yes.
It's what's lacking. So do you think that I mean because it's important that we have someone there who is not someone but everyone there is held accountable for making sure that the youth is prepared for what's to come. Can you imagine if Jesus came, he did what he did and then left
No.
with not preparing disciples?
Yeah.
With not preparing disciples and leaving a guide for us to follow in order for us to be able to fulfill what God has for us, in order to, like he said, to go and spread the gospel.
Yeah.
If we're not spreading the gospel, if we're not preparing the people, if we're not leaving behind a book for the ones who's coming after us to follow, to guide, we would be in chaos. Even though he did leave a book, we're still in a mess because not everybody's taking the information. But can you imagine if we did not have that guide to lead us?
I think don't take me word to word, but most of the church I go to, that the same thing I saw. Disciples. They don't. I'm sorry.
Are you
I can't.
speaking of American church or are you speaking of
I'm
Haitian
talking about
churches?
Haitian church.
Haitian churches, okay.
We don't do disciples, and that's something I think will mess up the youth or mess up the churches. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Because if you see somebody, the youth, because as a leader, you need to focus, seize your youth. You need to put eyes on them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you never like give them time to go sit with them, talk to them, see,
Find out what they want,
is
what
to
they need.
see the next leader.
Yeah.
Because if you never hang out with them, when they're doing something, you not be part of it.
Yeah.
So that's where you're gonna see what the next leader for the church, what the
Yeah.
next leader for the youth.
Yeah.
So who can count, who can teach the youth for the next level? Because if, for example, if I'm a pastor of the church, so I'm gonna focus on the next the next leader for the youth. So I need to teach that man or that woman better verse, better stuff for, it's like, for example, if he's 10 years old or 20 or 18, 16, but if I see stuff inside of him or her, that's why you start prepare them
You start preparing them. Yeah.
to make sure it's like they're ready for the young kids coming up, like the 10 years old, the 12 years old, who gonna need help. Because when you don't do that, you don't prepare the one who already involved
Mm-hmm.
for on the church. By the time the other 10 years old, 12 years old come in,
Mm-hmm.
that you're gonna have a gap.
There's a gap.
They're not gonna have enough leader to lead them.
Yeah.
Because the leaders who was there married. They left the church. Most of the time, that's what we saw. The woman just married and go to American church. Is fine.
Or go
American.
to their partners'
Yes,
churches.
partner churches. They left the church, or they say, the church is not for me no more. Because we don't focus on, we don't see what they need. Okay, today, they got certain stuff the church need to think about. So why the youth keep leaving the church at a certain age?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So how can we fix that?
Yeah.
How can we sit down with them and fix that? I'm not talking about one church. I'm talking about most of the church I know, Asian churches I know. They will coming back after they have maybe married or have kids or something like that. But the time you need them, they leave. Everything you was like, there was the one who was no.
You're instilling in them, they take it
Yeah.
and bring it somewhere else.
For example, when I was young, there was people was teaching me the good books and teaching me the good thing about God, the gospel. They left because they married, and some of them moved to America. But they was preparing me and some of the other young men or the young women. So if we didn't have that, we wasn't not gonna prepare the one who left behind right now.
Right.
So the kids we was working with right now, they're the one who was teaching, was doing the call, the everything we was doing.
Of course.
Because most of us come to America right now, but the church I was in Haiti, they still work, they still working.
Yeah.
Because when we was there, everything we was doing, we always make sure we got 2, 3, the most, for example, if I'm the president of the youth, right?
Yes.
And I see you was younger than me, and I see something in you. It's like, okay, she gonna be the next generation.
Yeah.
So the way I see she's working, I think she got something in it. So I need to take her
Under your wing. Yeah.
everywhere I'm going, she will
Need
be
to
with
be.
me.
That's discipleship.
Yes, I'll teach her everything I know.
Exactly.
So when I left, she already know everything. She already know all the good thing. Okay, this is where, if Brother Manuel was there, this is what you're gonna. Of course, you're gonna have your own thing. You're gonna
your own way of doing things.
But knowing all my struggles, all my fears, or everything I've been through, so you already know all of them. So prepare you for the next. That thing, I think, that's what we don't see most
So,
of the time.
do you think, like, in preparing a youth and taking over? So a lot of times we have people who should be retired in what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't allow a younger person to step up
Yeah.
right? And a younger person stepping up doesn't mean that you have to step down.
No.
They can work beside you.
This
They
is
can
that.
work beside you because at the same time you're discipling them, you're teaching them, you're leading them for when you want to sit down, right? 'Cause there's going to be a time where you need a break.
Oh yeah,
You
definitely.
need a break, and that's just, this is God's house. This is God's kingdom. This is God's church. We are supposed to be sharing the gospel, not only to just give them what they need, but if you're giving them the tools, when do they get to use the tools?
Mm-hmm.
When do they get to use the tools to show that they're actually applying it into their lives? Everybody has a gift. God gives everybody a gift, whether it's preaching, whether it's singing, whether it's doing announcements, whether it's discipling others, whether it's, discipling, which is teaching. All of this, you have to be able to use it. If I just take it, I'm studying it, and I don't get a chance to apply it, how do you know that I've actually absorbed it, what you taught me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's an issue of allowing the youth to step up, if it's an issue of allowing the youth to step up, but I think we should look more deeper into that. If we can focus on allowing the youth to be a part of more things that we're doing, not only having a youth service and then the older people service, but having a mixture.
I think what the church needs to more doing it is the disciples.
Hmm.
Stop doing
What does that
disciples.
look like? What does that look like? You did mention if you see someone with a gift, you pull them under your wing. Okay.
Yeah.
But after you've discipled them, what does it look like after you've discipled them during the discipleship? What does it look like?
Okay. Again, I'm gonna use myself as example. Everything I know because people teaching me to. Because, like I said, I wasn't born in church, so I ain't know nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
So even play drums. I never go to a school to play drums.
Right.
But somebody else know how to play drums, so I buy drums.
Mm-hmm.
I got a drum, so somebody decided to teach me how to play. How to even comedy I was doing, like a sketch.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't born how to do it,
Right.
but I saw somebody doing it. I asked, they teach it to me.
Yeah.
Inside the church.
Mm-hmm.
How to write. I didn't know how to write, but right now, they teach me how to do all these things because it's like I said, all this is disciples. I didn't know nothing about mixing or stuff like that. It's like when microphone, how to fix a microphone, stuff like that. But the leaders, the people who was behind before me, they see, I'm I'm gonna say that too. So you don't force people to do it, but if you see somebody have the talent of you wanna learn, you need to teach them. So every time it's like I see something, I say, okay, I want to learn. So I'm always want to learn because I see like one of my pastors always say,
Mm-hmm.
l'église bon Dieu a pas un superstar.
Mm-hmm.
The church, the it's like no superstars of the church. So if I don't do it, somebody else gonna come and
Of
do it,
course.
and might be doing it better. So that's why I was like, when I'm doing stuff at the church, I'm not doing because I want people to see me or I want to do it. No, I'm not doing it for you. I'm
It's a
doing
privilege.
Yes, it's a privilege. Me, it's like for where I was and where I am right now. So everything I do I'm doing for God. Even this podcasting we're not doing it because, oh, we want to do a podcast like everybody doing it. No. We learn ourselves how to do it. And we've been the leader of your church.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell a story about her. So when I met her, she had the power.
The power.
Yeah, when I say you have the power, you have the power of over the youth because they respect you and all the parents know who you are, so they know it's like your struggles. They know your fear. They know everything you're doing, and they know your heart was a good place. So they let of the youth, walk with you. So when I come, I remember still right now, I'm still learning how to speak English. So because I never, go to school, stuff like that to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I remember for me to fit in your shoes in the youth, my little English I have, and I mixed it with Creole. We was calling English Creole. So every word I said in Creole, I say one word in English, but they understand it. The thing about it, y'all didn't put me down because
No.
because I didn't know how to speak English. Yeah, you find a way to understand me better and put me through. So when it's like that happens, you say, man, sometimes now she speaks Creole really well. When I met her, she wasn't that well. But I remember the reason why I tell this because before I come to that church, I was with another church before. I went to the youth, but they didn't accept, you know.
Yeah.
So because I didn't know how to speak
English.
but I was Asian, and they was Asian.
Yeah.
But the thing they didn't see what inside of me. So what I can, what God put inside of me, what I can bring to the youth.
Right.
So when I met you, you already had the
Influence.
influence at the church for the power. But with everything I know, so when we come by ourselves together, we make an explosion.
Yeah.
So we had so many youth, so many people who was
And you
was
actually
teaching.
you actually balanced me because I was pretty strict.
Oh yeah,
I
you
was pretty strict. I've always had like the militant aspect
Man.
about me where I didn't play. I didn't play
No.
with the youth. There was because I just feel
With you
like
wasn't nothing fun. Everything is straight to Bible.
look, it had to be. It had to be for me because growing up as a youth, I just know that there's so many struggles, there's so many distractions. So I get it now that you have to have a balance.
Yeah.
I get it now
No,
because you
wasn't.
came along and you was like, "Oh, we need to have a balance. We can't just keep punching them. We have to," and that's metaphorically. But we have to give them some space to make mistakes. We have to allow them to be able to breathe, to feel like they can come to you, to feel like they can tell you about the stuff that they've done wrong. So you get a chance to fix it.
But no, with her, it wasn't that. We like it's like if two or three like the youth was have fun when they see her, they change. Everything change.
Like, change. They conformed themselves in a way
okay.
that they knew like Capitan just walked into the
And they
room.
say, hey, she's here. Everybody was like that. So it's like I was like happy to see the respect she got when everybody sees her. So she was not a mean person at all.
I wasn't mean. No.
But knowing what she had, she gave you the Bible. That's
Yeah.
everything we're gonna have to talk. Everything we have to do, you have to be the Bible, straight up. But so it was good. So like you said, we have to make the balance to say, okay, we can do it. We gotta give them an opportunity for them to see, okay, we're fun because that's what I learned. So it's not about Bible, 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 Bible. Yes, everything we're gonna do, I'm gonna give you the Bible inside of it.
Yeah.
So I remember my first thing we do outside the church was a pool party. So it was our house. Yeah, that was so fun.
I was still watching though.
Yes, she wasn't taking. She wasn't in the pool, nothing like that.
I had
She
to
wasn't
watch.
watch everything. But after that, everything changed. So you see more more youth coming, more youth coming up because they see we still teaching even whatever we are, we're still teaching them
Right.
the Bibles. We're still teaching them what the next generation have to be. All of them, the youth, they was there, so they start to involve themselves at the church. Some of them become to the worship, this dancing team. Some of them come with my on my team, was doing sketch every Sunday. Me, my team, I have to write a sketch every Sunday. We have to do. It's like every Sunday. That was what I was doing.
Right.
Every Sunday, I have to teach them something. So it was fun, and it's like you have fun and bless the God and bless everybody. Everybody was on point because that's why we was doing the discipleship. Somebody was singing, we help them, we teach them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at the church we came from, those same youth, the same youth that we were working with are now teaching the next generation.
Yeah.
on how to teach,
Mm-hmm.
right? On how to allow them to make mistakes, on how to allow them to, or give them an opportunity to come and say, I messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Pray for me, to be able to do that. And I feel like the Haitian church, this is one thing that we are lacking. We are lacking of giving the youth an opportunity to make mistakes and then reach out. So instead, they're making mistakes and leaving
Mm-hmm.
because they know that they will not be respected. They know that they're going to be shunned. Nobody wants to be shunned, right? No one wants to be sanctioned. But instead of them facing what they're going through prayer, through being lifted up, through being encouraged that you made a mistake, now what do I do now?
Yeah.
Opposed to running away and into the world where they're giving information that is not of God, and then that's how they end up continuously backsliding. This is how they end up continuously getting deeper into the sin.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, one thing I would encourage the Haitian church to do is give your youth an opportunity.
But the thing I see too, they do. I think that verse they change it. They keep the first part of it, and they add nothing on it. It was Woman 12 verse 2. Say, do not conform to the pattern of the world. So I think they keep all that part because I think when they youth coming, they see what's going on and they see everything coming up. They wanna add their own stuff,
Their own flavor. Yeah.
so they don't allow them to do that. That's why a lot of time they left because the same verse they keep say, do not confirm that part, on this word. So they just focus on that part, but the rest verse they never talk about. They say, but it's like open your mind to the new thing, the new generation, the new. It's like embrace yourself, teaching yourself that part. Yeah, they left out because that's the part. That's like God said to you. Okay, I understand that. Don't be part of the new generation. Don't be part of the world. So stay away from the world. But I meant the same way too. Learn, teach yourself how to do better. Teach new things. Learn new stuff you can use to. Yeah. It's like, for example, today we don't have to. I don't have to be. If we was doing this, we don't have to invite everybody to come. To sit down and we talk. But new day, we're just sitting and we have two cameras in front of us, but we talk and the world can see what we're doing. We don't stay at the world. No, but we're still in the world. That's the thing.
Still in the world.
We're still in the world. But we use stuff the world using our own advantage to teach the world. But I think this is the part
to spread the gospel.
Yes, to spread the gospel.
Yeah.
I think this is the part we need to do.
Right.
To do more, because it's not focused on, okay, I'm not part of the world. Yes, you're part of the world. I'm not enjoy what the world enjoy. I'm not doing what the world doing. But since I am inside this world, how can I bring my own changing? How can I bring my own limit? It's like you married. When you're singles, you're singles. It's like, but when you're married, you have to bring your own flavor to that marriage to become that marriage can be better and be strong. It's the same thing when we were Christian. So you be part of the world, but your flavor they have to see it. That's why they always say we are the salt of this world.
Yeah.
Because you change stuff. You bring new stuff. You bring new generation. You bring new stuff in these words. Be part of the world is nothing wrong, but is what you bring at the world. So I think most of the time that's one thing the youth feel like I have to leave because they don't want me to do what I know how to do or what I love to do or what I can bring because it's a new thing. They don't want it. They just,
And that's where their interests lie,
yeah.
right? So the enemy knows how to draw them away from the church. The old time. Do you remember being back at the church long ago? We had organs. We played organs. There were no drums.
No.
We just played organs. But now we have drums, we have saxophones, we have trumpets, we have keyboards, we have all of these things. And the enemy can use it for wrong, but if we take it and we put it inside of the church and we use it for good, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how, if that's what we need to do to
Mm.
come down to them, just like in 1 Corinthians 9:22, it says that Jesus became weak so he can attract the weak,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So he can do all of that.
Yep.
I challenge you, um, as elders, to find a way to communicate with your youth. Find out what they're into. Find out what their interests are. Find out what they like, right? So if we can take that and we can transform it into something that is godly, then they can use it in that way, opposed to using it the way that the world is
Yeah.
using it. And there's nothing wrong with that. We shouldn't shun. We should not cast away the things that the world is providing, but taking it and transforming it and making it into our own, right?
Yeah, and that's what is good to do. And I understand some good thing. I always said I love the new generation. I love when I say I'm 80s babies. So I love it, but they got so many great thing this year, this new generation have, and they got more powerful tools they doing. We can help the church going, the gospel going more farther. So right now we see most people doing a podcasting because they talk about God. You guys see the world was using it too, but now we using it too. Because again that the same verse. That's why the verse said the Woman 12, verse 2. Do not conform to the world, but transform by the renouvelment of your mind. Because when you do that, because I use my mind, we use our brain right now to do what we're doing right now. So
Right.
we transform ourselves to give the Bible, to give the gospel what the gospel I think need from us. So uh I might not have the microphone at the church to preach or to talk. What we're doing right now. But because of this, we have the opportunity to do it and to talk to like other people. So
Yeah.
I think right now the challenge is how can we meet with the youth and how can we meet with them so they cannot leave and have a conversation with them.
Yep.
I remember I had a conversation with one of the youth who left our church. He was saying, "I have nothing for me, man." That's why I left. I don't have nothing for me. And I was explaining to him, so what can the church do to make the changing and to make you come from? Say, man, they need to find out what I like, what I love to do, what I enjoy to do. So I say, man, I love to, not stay in the church every day, but I want to go out. I like to go out. I love to hang out with my friend. I like to, sitting, play music, stuff like that. But if we don't have not something like that for them, you see, you lost one of them like
Yeah.
that. So you don't know how many of them you lost just like that. So uh, I want the church, the leaders of the church think about
Yeah.
the youth. I understand like the next generation is them. So don't let they come back after they make whatever mistake they're gonna do, or they have a kids and now after that they wanna come back. After the word, reject them, that's why they wanna come back.
Yeah.
Try to keep them how they have they always gonna have the value, but don't let them go out, to teach or to learn some bad stuff before they coming back. We can teach them, we can provide that to not happen to leave the church. It's just a conversation. Sit with them and see how can we uh meet in certain ways. So you need this, okay. I can I can give you this. So how can we sit and see how can we change that together and we can have a better church and better understanding. I think that's where we need to go.
Right.
That's where we need to
And
go.
however we work it out is how we work it out. Not everybody's going through the same things.
Yeah.
Not everybody has the same struggles. But just having a conversation, like Emmanuel said, just having a conversation, communication is key, right? So we're not going to know what they need if we're not speaking to them, right? So if they're going away to college, that's not the time where we lose contact with them. We should be keeping contact with them while they are in college, right? So we have our youth leaders who we should be mentoring, right? We should be held accountable and hold them accountable for those who come after them. So I think when we talk about the stuff that they're learning out in the world, what the enemy means for evil, we can always work it out for good, right? Using the God that is within us to work it out for good, whatever it is, whether it's technology, whether it's music, whatever the case may be. Like you did talk about the youth that you spoke about who said what he likes to do. He likes to play music. Okay. He likes to play music. What we used to do, we used to sit around, we have a gathering. You bring your keyboard, you bring your guitar. We didn't have drums, but you bring your guitar, your keyboard, whatever it is that you want, your voices, and we lift up God together. That is music. We're using music to worship God, and that's why we're here. God created us to worship him. So whatever the case may be, discipling a youth is worshiping God. Playing music is worshiping God. Spreading the gospel is worshiping God. This is all that we do, and this is all that we're here to do, right? So that one day,
I remember we used to go to even the park,
yeah,
have fun, play
yes,
football, play, just
yeah,
to make sure it's like the youth. I think every Sunday
mm-hmm.
after church, we went some house or your house or some of the youth house. We make party. We make we do some things like we have a WhatsApp group we call Jesus Fire.
Yeah.
It been like it's like one o'clock in the morning. People
Yeah.
still on the group. We was like fine like connect each other. We always teaching. We always like I remember a dude after like he didn't like church. He loved the church, but he ain't come to the church. I remember the first time he come, he see a wife was at the church, or wife always, doing everything. I'm talking about Lovsky. Lovsky, if you listen, that was you. But every time he come at the church, man, he come one day, he come the second day, and after that he stop. He become more
Involved.
involving because what we was doing because some he never like feeling Asian churches like we was doing because we always have something to do, always have stuff
Creating
to
events and
do.
things like that.
Always we always have something. We have to prayer. We go to even like I said, we went to the park to pray. We went to the park to play. We have dude so he have his studio. We have his the own studio. We come and singing, recording studio. We have man. We was like open to do so many great things, make other youth feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think I don't say it's like we have to do what we was doing, but it was just like a from like examples of how can we brainstorm the ideas to bring the youth back because most of them leaving the church. And I remember my church right now we have a group we're doing right now called men group, men club. And I'm gonna give an example of why we done and I'm really sorry for that happening, right? And we always have like we do always doing like barbecue. And when we meet together, we have fun. We play music. We talk. We always have subjects to talk about. And I remember one day, one of the friend invite another dude coming to our gathering. So when he come, he fall in love of what we was doing. And one Sunday we see him at the church. The next Sunday he come at the church. And I remember me and my brother. We asked him, what happened to you? I thought you say you never come, you don't like coming to the church. And because the dude who was invite him, they didn't come to the church too. We was friends. It's like you have your friend, I'm your friend, so we invite friends together, so we met. And this dude become a member of our church. Amen. Because of what we was doing. Yeah. Because the fellowship we was doing.
It's important.
And after a while, he find out he had cancer. After 6 months, he passed away. But one of the good things before he passed away, he was telling us it was a blessing to meet us and to be part, and because of what we was doing, he have a relationship with God before he passed away. So right now, I think say that brother is with God, Father. Before he passed away, he have to change his life because of gathering, because of fellowship. And I think Asian churches, all church need to do that gathering always, because that make you know what I'm going through, what you're going through, and we pray together, we talk together, and so that's how we focus and go to the next level with our faith and meet somebody. And I think a lot of people don't come to the church because of that. They believe is every Sunday every Sunday church is not enough, for them. So we need more of fellowship
Outside of Sunday.
outside of Sunday. Do more concert. Do more stuff at the church, because I think a word now needed, because right now, for example, if I'm not doing nothing right now, I might be on the TV watching a movie or watching something else. I might be on TikTok, Facebook, watching stuff I'm not supposed to watching. But if the church have activities, stuff, I will be at the church. I will be enjoying myself. I will be, with my friends, gathering together to have, fun.
Just creating activities where you're not only touching those who you know, but touching folks who you don't know and bringing them to the gathering where you guys are growing in faith.
Yeah.
Right. So very, very important. So just a recap of what we talked about. We talked about our how Haitian churches are losing their youth
Yeah.
to maybe the world, or even to American churches where they're being they're given the opportunity to show what their talents are, what their gifts are, because we're not accepting it, because we think that it's outside of God's plan for his church. And again, we can use everyone's talents. We can use everyone's ideas so we can grow in faith. Right. So let's just be more accepting in that way. And I challenge those who are watching right now, talk about your story. What have you gone through? What is an experience that you have gone through that you'd like to share? Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Just sharing your experiences might help someone else out, and just let them know, what happened. What was
Your
the
challenge.
resolution even after that challenge. Right. So I just challenge you
What
to do
respect
that.
to the Asian churches to do? What respect, or what, if you're a youth, you want to leave or you leave the church, what you expect, what you want the church to do, so
Yeah.
for you to get back,
Yeah.
come back to.
And things that you would like to see more in the Haitian churches, right? Things that'll help you stay and be held accountable for. There's a lot of youth who wants to work with children.
Yeah.
In order for them to work with children, of course, we have to guide them. We have to prepare them for all of that, right? So let's work together. Let's try to work together for the glory of God. Everything we do is for the glory of God.
Definitely, yeah.
Let's try to work on that so we can make it to the next step.
Yeah, I think like when you're doing stuff like that, so you're not doing for yourself and you're not doing by yourself too, because it become a challenge for everybody else. And I'm telling, I'm gonna have a message for all the pastors, especially of the church. When you see, look for who wanna work for God. You will know. You will see some people of the church who gonna be the next leaders, the next generation who gonna lead the church. If you don't prepare them for the next one or to be better, for the next one. That's why right now we have a lot of fake pastors or people who don't know what they're doing.
Right.
Because if you was take time to teach them, to prepare them for this, they will be better. Because everything you know, you teach it to somebody you know better, and they know better too. So be part of the next generation coming up,
Amen.
because you got the opportunity to do it, and
Yeah.
you are the right one to do it, because you got the microphone and you got the leadership.
You got the
So, yeah,
platform.
the platform. Anybody have your church, who have any talent, see how you can challenge them to do better, to do something with it for God. Because everything we're doing it for God. Everything we call to work for God, because that's what He said. So focus on the talent, help them to get better, help them to do better, because they need it and they're gonna want it. But if
God's
you
church needs it.
Yes. If you take time to work with them, they got some mistakes they're not gonna make, because you already passed that award already, so you know better. So please take time to teach the young generation,
Yeah.
who might be the new pastor.
And don't be afraid to share your mistakes.
Yeah.
Right? Because when we keep our mistakes to ourselves, that's just opening a space for someone else to make the same mistake that you made, that you could have prevented them from making. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes. In order for the next generation to not make those mistakes, how about we share that and you tell them what they should do instead, right? In order for them to not make that mistake. So that is all that we had for you today. I appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for joining us.
One more thing. Well, this podcast, ACC podcast, is opening for everybody you have a word to say, you got something to say.
Yeah.
Open for you. And you're good on cameras, you wanna work with us. Welcome. You can help us anything. Anything you can make us get better, because like I said, what we're not doing it for us, when we do it for God, for glory.
Praise
of
God.
So let us work together. Let's make it better, and you're gonna see me say that word a lot better, because
God deserves better.
Yes, God deserves better. So we want better. We want great thing, because God is great.
Amen.
So we're waiting for you. So anything, call us. No, not email us if you have anything. It's Asian1cc, at gmail.com. So if you want to be part of the teams, you're welcome. And if you know a phone number, give us a call, a text. Leave us a
word of encouragement as well.
Yeah, subscribe to our channel.
Share.
And share. We want the church getting better. We want Asian church to be better.
Praise God.
And that's all.
So we're here for you. We are rooted in love and growing in faith. Let's continue to do that together. We will see you next time.
Yes.
Praise
Don't forget, Asian Churches Connect.
Yes.
It's all about getting better. Getting great.
Bye, family.
Bye. Big family. See you soon. Bye.
For the gospel.